Hello, good day. I am Lloyd Azañes from BSTM1B, and we will discuss the topic of Region 2, which is the Cagayan Valley. Cagayan Valley, also known as the Land of Beauty, because of its natural, cultural, and historical splendor, and it has plentiful of natural resources. It conveys different development potentials with an area of 26,000 square kilometers. Cagayan Valley and their province is divided by five, which is the Batanes, Cagayan, Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, and Quirino. The Batanes group of islands is located at the northeastern tip of the Philippine territory. It is known for its scenic water and terrain and clean environment. Batanes is also recognized for the unique culture of the island's first settlers. Batanes is also known as the land of the true insulars. The province of Batanes is an archipelago province in a region of Cagayan Valley. It is the northernmost province of the Philippines and it is also the smallest province, both in terms of populations and inland area. The local government has implemented to the new marketing and branding strategy. The local government has implemented the new marketing and branding strategy driven by the tagline, the breathtaking Batanes or explore simplicity. Their culture is the local steelware traditional. The capital of Batanes is Basco. Batanes lies on a group of islands collectively called Batanes Islands, and they are the northern islands of the Philippines. They are located between the Babuyan Islands belonging to the Cagayan province and Taiwan. The indigenous people in Batanes is called Ivatan. The Ivatan people are an Austronesian ethno-linguistic group, a native to the Batanes and Babuyan Islands of the northernmost Philippines. They are genetically closely related to other ethnic groups in northern Luzon, but also share close linguistic and cultural affinities to the Tao people of Orchid, an island in Taiwan. So let's go to the cultural traditions of Batanes. First is the Vakul Kanay Festival. The festival phenomenon is surely sweeping the Philippines by storm. Vakul and Kanay are traditional all-weather farm wares. It's made of shredded voyavoy leaves or Philippine date palm. Bakul is the popular headpiece worn by women, while the men use kanay or vest when they go out in the field to work. Next is the Kulay Festival. It was the Kulay Festival, an annual event held by the Ivatans in Basco. Hundreds of students as well as teachers and Ivatans seniors were clad in colorful, iridescent costumes. Initially, I thought I thought kulay festivals means colors. In Ivatan, kulay means anything dried. Next is the Palo Palo Festival. This Palo Palo Festival is a cultural presentation of the municipality of Basco Batanes, showcasing their ethnic groups' rugged stories existence. Palo Palo means sticks are arnis that were used by the native Ivatans to fight the forces of the colonizers such as Spaniards and Dutch. The natives wear the traditional suits made of indigenous materials from the bark of trees, which were flattened. Let's discuss the delicacies of Batanes. Tab-tab or oud is also called uvud in Mahataw and tab-tab in the island of Sabtang. Ub is made from ubod ng saging mixed with ground meat, fish, and spices like onions, garlic, salt, and pepper. Next is the dibang. Dibang is a kind of fish is drenched in vinegar and calamansi juice, as well as mixed with finger, onions, and salt. May touch as 1 day old. After the fish is cleaned and open up, it will be marinated in salt, vinegar, and garlic to the laid of under the sun for a day to dry. Next is supas. Supas always a staple during fiestas or festivals. Supas are Balenciana, also called in Ibatbat Islands. It is a rice that cooked in a turmeric pulp or yellow ginger that's often mixed with garlic and pork. It's adaptly called yellow rice because it is yellow from the turmeric. Let's go to the destinations or tourist spots. First is the Discover Morong Beach. First is let's cover the Morong Beach. Batanes' unspoiled beauty is most evident in its beautiful beaches, from powdery white and sand to scattered boulders surrounded by the time and waves. Batanes has a variety of seascapes you can swim in, visit, and launch at such as Morong Beach. Morong Beach is located in Sabtang Island. Morong Beach is one of the more popular beaches in the province, thanks to the large rock formations called Nakabuwang Arc to mas lalong napaganda ang view. So next is the Visit Basco Lighthouse. Start your Batanes Lighthouse to bright and eerie in Basco. It is located on the main island of Batan. Visit Basco Lighthouse, built in March 2003 to serve as a guide to local freshmen the for the sixth for the 66th feet tower. Basco Lighthouse offers a 360-degree view of Basco town proper. Third is, let's see the panoramic view of Batanes at Chawa View Deck. Chawa View Deck is one of the highest areas in South Batan Island. Situated on the mountainsides between the towns of Basco and Mahatao, the view deck was built overlooking the West Philippine Sea. The Chawa View Deck features rolling green hills, rock formations, and panoramic view of the seascape. There is also a cave that Virgin Mary and a few concrete chairs for the visitors. Fourth, let's check out Savidug Stones houses. From the church, you can get to Savidug, a coastal village theming with a traditional Cogon roof stone houses. Savidug stone houses are the primary type of dwelling in Batanes, particularly in a small barangay in Sabtang Islands. So the next is Discover Songsong Ruins. Be humbled by the power of Mother Nature as we walk through the Songsong Ruins. A tidal wave ravaged this tiny village in the 1950s. The houses were damaged beyond repair and leaving its residents with no choice but to abandon their town. So next is, let's visit the Honesty Cafe in Batanes. Honesty Cafe, aka Honesty Coffee Shop, is one of the kind store located in Ivana, Batanes. This coffee shop was originally named Honesty Cafe in 1998, while some local residents call it is the Honesty Store. Despite from various names, do you know what makes Ivatan Sari Sari store interesting? No one looks after the merchandise, so each customer is pretty much free to move inside the store. And everyone is expected to be honest. The store owners trust the people enough to allow them to list the products they bought along with its corresponding price, and then leave the payment in a drop box. You can find an interesting sign on the wall that says, "This store is too small for dishonest people."
I'm Joan Badiola from BSTM 1B. Welcome to Cagayan Province, the second province of Cagayan Valley, the land of smiling beauty. To Tuguegarao City, the capital of Cagayan region. Now, let's talk about the area and location of Cagayan Province. Cagayan Province lies on the northeasternmost part of Luzon, mainland occupying the lower basin of the Cagayan River. It is bounded on the east by the Pacific Ocean, on the west by Cordilleras, on the south by the province of Isabela, and on the north by the Babuyan Channel. It is bounded by the three mountain ranges, which is Sierra Madre Mountains of the east, the Cordillera Mountains on the west, and the Caraballo Mountains on the south. Now, let's proceed the facts about Cagayan Province. First is, it is well traversed by many rivers, with Abulog and Cagayan rivers as the largest. The province comprises an aggregated land area of 9,003 square kilometers, which constitutes 3% of the total land area of the country and is the second largest province in the region. The third is the Spanish friars, notably, and Dominicans brought Western culture to Cagayan. Fourth is, according to Father Francisco Rojano, the great consider of the province, Cagayan got its name from the Ilocano word Cagayan, or river referring to the Rio Grande de Cagayan. The fifth is, the early Spanish settlers are also called it Rio Ibanag. The river runs from south in Quirino to the north, dissecting the whole valley. The Japanese forces occupied Cagayan from December 1941 to July 1945 until the Philippines got its independence in 1946. Welcome to tourist spots in Cagayan Province. The first tourist spot in Cagayan Province is Bunton Bridge. Bunton Bridge, located in the province of Cagayan in the Philippines. The Bunton Bridge is one of the most spectacular bridges in the world. It is said that the bridge is long enough for a person to recite the Inter-Philippine National Anthem while walking here. The second tourist spot in Cagayan Province, the Station of the Cross at Cavalry Hills. Cavalry Hills takes pride in its 11 hectares of rolling terrain upon which lies a life-size images of 6-meter high statues depicting the 14th Station of the Cross. This site was created in 1982 and conceived by parish priest Rogelio Cortes. It is a good destination for many devotees because it provides a memorable pilgrimage during the Holy Week. The third tourist spot in Cagayan Province is Nangaramoan Beach. Staying in Nangaramoan Beach is simply breathtaking, although the place is not considered to be developed as you will expect from the other tourist and leisurely beaches in the Philippines, like the Boracay Island in the Western Visayas Municipality of Malay, Aklan Province. But on the top of it all, Nangaramoan has its advantage because few people visit there, where is an ideal way to enjoy a stress-free getaway that too many people and beach activities bring. The fourth tourist spot in Cagayan Province is Calao Cave. Calao Cave is among the most popular caves in the Philippines and the best-known tourist attraction of Cagayan Province, the chapel being featured in many tourism ads and postcards. Is the main attraction of the cave and of the whole Cagayan. It is a chamber turned into cathedral by the locals. The Igig Church was constructed from 1765 to 1787. It is unique in that it is the only centuries-old church in the country that features flying baptisms behind it. But more than that, it is also believed that the church houses the Jubilee Cross containing relic of the true cross of the Lord Jesus. This is Basilica Minor of Our Lady of Payat. The town of Payat in the province of Cagayan has been called the pilgrimage center of the north because of the multitude of faithful devotees and tourists who have come far and wide, as the town is home to the Basilica of Our Lady Payat, a source of faith, inspiration, and some say miracles for people for literally centuries. The last tourist spot in Cagayan Province is Ermita de San Jacinto. St. Jacinto Church or San Jacinto Church or the Ermita de Piedra de San Jacinto Stone Chapel of San Jacinto is an elevated historic chapel established in 1604, 100 years older than the Saints Peter and Paul Cathedral. American soldiers during the Philippine-American War used it as headquarters in 1899. Saint Jacinth is the patron saint of the city, whose feast is celebrated every August 16, coinciding with the AFI festival. The oldest brick structures in the city is the first parochial building built by the Dominican fathers in Tagayaraw. The current structures is the latest in the process of rebuilding beginning in 1724 and 1892. After it was destroyed by an earthquake and its reconstruction after World War II. The chapel was not heavily damaged during the war and as a result retains its original wooden retablo which dates back to the 18th century. Now, let's proceed the cultural activities in Cagayan province. The first cultural activities in Cagayan province is Sambala Festival. Sambali is a war dance of tribes that were united and converted to Christianity through intercession of the Lady of Bayat. The festival is celebrated every June 23 to 30, after which the feast day of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary of Bayat follows July 1 to 2. The second festival in Cagayan province is Viray Festival. The annual Viray Festival is a Thanksgiving event for the town folks' bountiful sea harvest. It is named after the Viray, an indigenous wooden bangka used by the town's early settlers to transport goods. Santa Ana boasts of white sand beaches and delectable export quality giant crabs and lobsters. The last festival in Cagayan province is Pavurulan Festival. Pavurulan Festival is a week-long celebration that usually ends on August 16 annually. Pavurulan is an Ibanag word which means get together or a sense of belonging. It is in this context that the city annually celebrates its patronal festa in honor of Saint Hassan. The patron saint of the city it gathered Tagagaranyos to a week-long festivities culminating with a mass and procession of the patron saint on August 16. The week-long celebration is a festival of activities marked by parades, beauty contests, pansit batil, patong eating contest, street dancing competition, music festival, sport fest, and trade fairs among others. Now, let's talk about the delicacies in Cagayan province. The first delicacies in Cagayan province is Ibanag Longanisa. This longanisa, togegera, is a non-sweet type, salty and garlicky longanisa, very similar to vegan longanisa or lukban longanisa. It is also known as longanisang Ibanag and it is famous in the region of Cagayan Valley. When making your own longanisa or sausages, it is better if you have your own meat grinder so you can grind the correct type of meat and the proportion of lean meat to the fat. The second delicacy in Cagayan province is Pansit Batil Patong. Pansit Batil Patong is a popular noodle dish in Tuguegarao City, Cagayan. It is composed of two parts: the noodles with toppings and the sauce which looks like an egg drop soup. Poached egg along with salted meats and vegetables are topped over the fresh Mickey noodles, while a piece of egg is cracked and stirred in. Simmering beef stock and poured in a bowl. So the third delicacy in Cagayan province is Pinakufo. Pinakufo is an Ibanag native delicacy made from glutinous rice or malagkit, grated coconut and drizzled with lots of caramelized brown sugar. Yummy and easy Filipino native delicacy for merienda.
So let's go to Isabela. The province of Isabela is also known as the Queen Province of the North, top corn producers of the Philippines and rice bowl of the North. It's also known as one of the premier provinces in the North and most progressive in the country. As the second largest province of the Philippines with a land area of 1 million hectares, Isabela is widely known as the rice bowl of the North and the corn capital of the Philippines. Next is the Santiago. Santiago is a first-class independent component city in the Cagayan Valley, in the region of 2 of the Philippines. It is formerly known as the Pueblo de Caring. During the time of the Spanish, it is located between the southwestern part of Isabela and northwestern part boundary of Quirino in northern eastern Luzon Island of the Philippines. Next is Ilagan, the capital of Isabela. Ilagan is known for the center of ecotourism adventure in Region 2, home of the world's largest wooden lounge chair, or butaka. Sport tourism hub of the North, corn capital of the Philippines. Next is Cagayan City. Cagayan City is known for its historical grandeur. Grandeur. being the location of one of the Philippines' major industry of tobacco as far as back as the Spanish period. Cultural festivals is the Bambante Festival. This festival celebrating the use of bambante or scarecrow by the Isabelinos in their vast farmlands to protect its crops is highlighted by an agri-industrial trade fair participated by the 34 towns and the 3 cities of Isabela. A Bambante village is set up to house all the activities during the festival to include agri-ecotourism. So let's go to the delicacies of Isabela. Initata is a whole glutinous rice that's bit sweet and wrapped in a small cylinders made of banana leaves. Are cooked by steaming. They are tied in the batches, 10 per batch, and it's resemble as the magazine of bullets when tied. Binalay. Binalay is the native Suman delicacy of the province made of sticky rice flour and wrapped in a banana leaves. Binalay is cooked in a boiling water until done, then served with a latex sauce. Mm. Next is the pancit kabagan. The thin Mickey noodle recipe is garnished with a pork lechon karajay, pork or chicken liver, vegetable, and quail eggs. Next is the corn pastillas. This is a native milk candy from the Isabela made of corn, sugar, flour, powdered milk, and butter.
Welcome to tourist spots in Isabela. The first tourist spot in Isabela, the Camp Samuel Resort Eco Park and Training Center. The historic Camp Samuel was the site of the National Jamboree in 1977 and is the home of the Boy Scouts of the Philippines. It is located at the eastern outskirts of the Spanish-built town of Taumani, Isabela. 23.50 hectare of elevated mass of rolling hills 500 feet above sea level. It is endowed with natural spring, evergreen grasses, trees, and shrubs. It is overlooks the mighty Cagayan River, the Pinakanuaan River, the town of Tumawani, itself the municipality of Delfin Albano, and the Shara mountain ranges. The second is Magat High-Rise Demand Hydroelectric Power Plant. This infrastructure project was the biggest dam in the whole of Asia. At the time of its construction, project benefits include the year-round irrigation supply of some 102,000 hectares of agricultural land and an ultimate capacity of 540 megawatts of hydroelectric power sufficient to supply the whole of northern Luzon grid. Next is Bonsai Forest. Dinapuege showcases a bonsai forest with plants ranging from 1 foot to 7 feet in height. The forest is astonishing, covering an estimated 5,000 hectares. Next is the Bolo Falls. The Bolo Falls, with about 100 meters high, is one of the most notable throughout the Sierra Madre mountain range. It is one of the attractions of Sierra Madre Nature Park. Next is Honeymoon Island. Heart-shaped island that is surrounded by white sand beaches and faces the Pacific Ocean. It also has a natural forest and the surrounding coral reef, which is appropriate for diving. With its romantic sceneries, Honeymoon Island is perfect for lovers and travelers who wanted to seek quiet paradise. The last tourist spot in Isabela is Our Lady of Atoka Church. Built by Father Tomas Calderon, OP, and roofed with GI sheets by Father Manuel Alvarez. It was inaugurated in February 1849 with Father Francisco Gaenza, OP, then Vicar of Carig, now Santiago City. In attendance, the church served as a safe refuge for yogats from the plundering Ifugaos. Now, let's talk about the cultural activities in Isabela. So, the first cultural activities in Isabela is Bambante Festival. Festival celebrating the use of bambante or scarecrow by the Isabelanos in their vast farmlands to protect its crop is highlighted by an agro-industrial trade fair. Participated by the 34 towns and 3 cities of Isabela. So the second festival is Pagay Festival. Fagay is the first festival to be ever established in the history of Alicia. The thanksgiving of the people and love for celebration were the basis for creating the fiesta, which will serve as Alicia's and will promote Pagay, the municipality's largest agricultural product. The last festival in Isabela is Gakit Festival. The Gakit Festival is an annual festival held to Cagayan River. Participants of the festival offer fruits, vegetables, poultry, and livestock as thanksgiving for their abundant bounty. The Gakit Festival also aims to show ang Azañes that progress can only be achieved if they are united as one.
Capital of Nueva Vizcaya is Bayumbong, and the nickname of Nueva Vizcaya is Citrus Capital of the Philippines. The area and location of Nueva Vizcaya. The province of Nueva Vizcaya is located in the north-central part of Luzon in Region 2. The province of Ifugao and Isabela bound it on the north and northeast. On the east and southeast by Quirino and Aurora, respectively, on the south by Nueva Ecija, and on the west by Benguet and Pangasinan. The province is actually bounded by three mountain ranges covered with forest and grasslands, namely the Sierra Madre on the east, the Cordillera on the west, and the Caraballo on the south. Next is facts of Nueva Vizcaya. The province of Nueva Vizcaya used to be a territory of the vast Cagayan Valley region, which was once an integral political unit with one governor. In 1839, then Governor Luis Ardizabal issued an order creating Nueva Vizcaya into politico-military province upon the advice of the alcalde-mayor of Cagayan. The order was approved by a royal decree on April 10, 1841. The present territory of Nueva Vizcaya was the result of change emanating from formal creation of the province of Isabela in May of 1856, wherein in a great portion of its northern area was ceded to the newly born province. Next is place to visit in Nueva Vizcaya. First is People's Museum and Library. Can be found in Bayumbong, standing beside the St. Dominic Cathedral. The museum is a two-story historical building which houses the Novo Vizcayanos history and heritage. The former seat of the provincial government now showcases the culture and tradition of the tribes of Nueva Vizcaya. Balete Pass National Shrine. Balete Pass National Shrine is one of the historic sites in Nueva Vizcaya. Balete Pass, also called as Dalton Pass, is a mountain pass that connects the Nueva Vizcaya and Nueva Ecija province. A strategical battle of Balete Pass happened in the site where Filipinos and American soldiers fought against the retreating enemy force, which later on led to their surrender. The summit of the mountain pass is the Balete Pass tourism complex where the local government erected the Balete Pass National Shrine and markers as a tribute to the fallen soldiers, and a view deck at the top with huts were built and gives a majestic view of the mountain range and forest land. Next is Lower Magat Ecotourism Park. Is being developed by the province of Nueva Vizcaya as a high-end back-to-nature resort facility showcasing the rich culture and natural attractions of the province. Next is Imugan Falls. Santa Fe, Nueva Vizcaya is a two-level falls with shallow catch basin. Trek over streams, rivers emanating from the falls. Enjoy trekking, exploration, swimming, fishing, and cultural immersion. Also, within the area is the Imugan Mountain Fresh Factory, which utilizes wild berries and other fruits to produce spreads and jams while visitors can watch the production. Process and shop for preserved fruit spreads. Imugan is about 30 minutes from National Highway. Next is Kapisan Cave. It is the fifth longest cave system in the country. The Kapisan Cave is situated in the mountainous and limestone-rich barangay Kapisan in Cebu. Nueva Vizcaya, its total length is almost full magnificent stone formations which enhance tourists and locals alike. This is spelunking destination is slowly and surely attracting not just Nueva Vizcaya locals, but even the spelunkers coming from northern and central Luzon. Next is St. Dominic Cathedral. A living vestige of the grandeur that was the old town is it Catholic Church that was preserved to become the first cathedral in the province. Raised by fire twice and rebuilt in the same old size. It is now approximately twice its original size. The cathedral maintains the original face and as such as a veritable treasure, a relic of the past for its historic and aesthetic remains of proud Christian past. Next is Dupax del Sur Church, one of the biggest and oldest unreformed brick church, 18th century in the Cagayan Valley. The church has all the requisites of an old Spanish brick church like wooden altar, columns and lattice, and a museum which houses centuries-old church artifacts. Other preserved Spanish monuments include a Spanish flagpole and temple bridge, and a reinforced bridge made of bricks. In the 1960s, after being Christianized, the longest gave up their head hunting ways and started to call themselves Bugkalots in order to bury their bloody but proud past. The formerly called Malats of Imalats were gentle and easily embraced Christianity. This church, declared by the National Museum as a National Cultural Treasure, is a 45-minute drive from Bayumbong. Next is Temple Bridge. Built in 1818 by Spanish Fray Francisco Rocamora, the Temple Arch Bridge is a single arch brick bridge that spans the Banatan Creek that divides Barangay Dumang and Dupa, and one of the few remaining historic landmarks in the area. These early Azañes, along with indigenous groups living into the old area, built this manually. Native hands crafted the red color brick from an old adobe workshop near the St. Vincent Ferrer Church in a small town in Dupax during the time when Padre Rocamora was vicar. Cultural activities of Nueva Vizcaya. Grand Amungan Festival. Amungan Festival is the anniversary celebration of establishment of the provincial government of Nueva Vizcaya. The term Amungan gathering was popularized in 1889 and 1996 to showcase the culture of indigenous people in Nueva Vizcaya. Next is Kalanguya Festival. The festival aims to conserve, preserve, and protect the almost forgotten Kalanguya cultural heritage, especially to the younger generation amidst modernization and high technology. Next is the foods of Nueva Vizcaya. First is Chicharon Kalabaw. Unlike the fried pig's skin version most of the world is familiar with, Carabao skin chicharon doesn't curl into crunchy morsels. It pops into crisp, airy, particular melt in your mouth balls. Next is toasted abal-abal. The abal-abal, or commonly known as salagubang junbeto, the dry and toasted abal-abal is crunchy and mildly juicy with a squish texture. Next is tortang dulong. Given a big gusto for fish delicious, the natives of Nueva Vizcaya also enjoy having the tortang dulong or the silverfish omelette. It is favored by many because of it requires only a few ingredients as well as simple cooking procedures. Next is welcome to Quirino Province. Capital of Quirino is Cabarrogues. The nickname of Quirino is Forest Heartland of Cagayan Valley. The area and location of Quirino. Quirino Province lies in the southern portion of Cagayan Valley region within the upper Cagayan River Basin. Isabela bounds into the north, Aurora on the east and southeast, and Nueva Vizcaya on the west and southwest. The Sierra Madre mountain range provides a natural barrier on the eastern and southern border and the Mamparang range on the western part of the province. Next is the facts of Quirino. Quirino Province acquired its judicial personality as a result of the division of the province of the Nueva Vizcaya and Isabela on June 18, 1966 under RA 4734. It was named in honor of the then President Elpidio A. Quirino. The province of Quirino was formally established on February 10, 1971 upon assumption to office of the first elected provincial and municipal officials headed by Dionisio A. Sarande as provincial governor. Next, part of the province's comparative advantage is its accessibility to Aurora Region 4, which makes it a viable entry-exit through the coastal area of Aurora. Ilocano dialect is widely used in the lowlands of the various municipalities while Ifugao is the predominant dialect in the upland parts. Next is place to visit in Quirino. Nagtipunan Town, home of lush virgin forest and is being developed as a gateway to Quezon Province through Barangay Sangbay, about 54 kilometers from Cabarogos. The town is a recommended venue for camping and ecotourism activities. It is also home to the famous rock formation called Bemapor, a rock formation similar to a ship's stern which is about to sink. The area is recommended for rock climbing, trekking, swimming, rafting, and excursion and fishing. Among others, it is a few minutes drive from the municipal hall where overnight accommodation is available. Next is Ugly Pie Caves and Campsite, a special venue for communing with nature. A series of 38 caves, 7 of which have been developed as tourist spots, located in midst of rolling hills and verdant forest. The caves boast of particular characteristics of their own such as underground, spring and well-preserved stalagmites and stalactites. The caves interlink with each other and run to a depth of about 20 meters. The place is recommended for camping activities and outdoor functions, especially for big groups. Next is Mactol Falls or San Pugo Falls. This towering falls about 50 meters high spills into a shimmering basin about 22 meters deep. All who can appreciate nature in its untouched and raw form should make the trip to Mactol Falls. It is located at San Pugo, Nagtipunan. Next is the Governor Rapids, famous for its gigantic perpendicular walls of limestone jutting out from one side of the Cagayan River, framing the Sierra Madre Mountain, and its swift, turbulent, deep blue waters is perfect venue for kayaking, white river rafting, swimming, and fishing. The riverside offers a suitable picnic ground with a magnificent view of the river. The part of the region is also home to Agtas or Negretos. Next is Madelia Waterfalls and Forest Resort, a 7-stage waterfall, short trek to reach the falls and have an excellent nature retreat and relaxation. Its crystal pools are favorite swimming and picnic area for tourists. Next is cultural activities of Quirino. Panagdarapon Festival, the celebration of Quirino Province 21st Panagdarapon Festival, which also coincides with its 48th founding anniversary on September 6, 10 highlights the convenience of culture of its 6 municipalities. Panagdarapon is an Ilocano word that means gathering. Next is Panagsalukag Festival. It signifies the value of hard work and industry of Aligpayanos. It creates relaxation and excitement to overcome the hardship of farming. It is celebrated every July 27 to 28 of the year. Next is the food of Quirino. First is Adobong Pato, a restaurant in the town of Cabarogos Quirino province is known for its specialty adobo dish. Palm restaurant takes pride in its adobong pato, an adobo dish cooked with white duck meat. Unlike most duck dishes with duck meat is usually taught, the duck meat in Palm restaurants sa adobong is rather tender. Next is Royal Tibukoy. One of the more unique finds Royal Tibukoy. One of the more unique food finds was Royal Tubikoy, a combination of tupig, bibingka, and tikoy. The native delicious made of glutinous. Royal Tibukoy. One of the more unique food finds was Royal Tubikoy, a combination of tupig, bibingka, and tikoy. The native delicacy made of glutinous rice, coconut palm, milk sugar, cheese, and shortening is product by R&B, Bukuhan, and Eatery, Aurora, West, Difon, Quirino.